I'm Richard Fitzgerald. This is Dubai Works, where we interview the business leaders making a difference in this great city.
That business with scalability was very interesting to me.
I like building something that has legacy.
So it's March 2022. It's the last month of Expo 2020, and this week's guest came up with an idea for a business, to capture and to capitalize on a lot of the behavior around the Expo. And what they learned was that people would be coming into this city for a short period of time to live, stay, or work. So some of the trends that come up in this podcast, in this interview, are things like, the housing and furniture industries, leasing models, subscription versus investing and owning. Also, how they would approach profits as a business, whether they want to raise funds, whether they want to be EBITDA positive, and common trend as well as whether they own a product or build a marketplace. So enjoy the conversation. Welcome back to another episode of Dubai Works Business Podcast. This week on Dubai Works, we're joined by Faisal Mushtaq, who is the CEO of Lease. They are a one-of-a-kind lifestyle rental platform covering furniture, furnishing, electrical appliances, and many more things as well. They're actually revolutionizing the way that people enjoy and exhibit their luxury in both a sustainable and affordable manner. So good morning, Faisal.
Hi, good morning, Richard.
Thanks for joining the podcast.
I should say thank you for having me here.
No, it's nice to meet you, and it's nice to have you in our studio. So can you tell us a bit of background around Lease? And the spelling is quite unique. It's Ezelease. So how have you come up with the name and the concept, and what is it?
So actually, I'll give you a background about how Lease actually came into existence. This was something, it's a few years back. I was in US for a short course. And there, when I went there, I knew that I'm there for a few months. And I was looking for any more reasonable option how I can stay there and not have to spend a lot of money on buying the furniture, because I rented a place, the place was unfurnished. And then there was an option of leasing the furniture and appliances. So that was a very interesting thing. I got my accommodation fixed within a day, and I was living there just like I was living here back home in Dubai. So that was something that happened. It was a nice experience, and then it was closed. And then fast forward.
So rather than having to fork out for brand new furniture in a non-furnished place, there was an option for you to lease and to fit out your apartment.
Correct. So that was something was very unique. I was not aware of that, but once I was there, I was told by my colleagues who were already doing that course there that this is what they're doing, and I found it very reasonable and value for money. So that got me very intrigued. But that was not from. It was just experience that I had, and that was end of the story there. And then fast forward years in front today, and Expo was happening, and then we were discussing about what we can do around Expo, because this is something really big in this region. And while having a brainstorming session, we thought that people are here for a very short time, and they'll be here for minimum 6 to 10 to 12 months. And how and what can we do? And this is one of the things was how about having a subscription model of having a furniture and appliances, because they'll be here for a short time and they'll be going. And then this came up, and then it was built up, and then eventually we created this Lease.
Nice.
It is very unique in this part of the world. We are the first of its kind to offer furniture and appliances as a rental, which does not exist. This category does not exist here in a organized way. Yes, there might be people who will be doing just on an individual basis, but not organized. And this is way forward. And that's what I say. This is future for the future, because now shared economy is way forward. How we can support now, we talk about sustainability, but we need to contribute in our own ways, in a small ways in our daily lives. And this was one of the core pillars of our easy lease principle, that we support sustainability. It's not a linear business model where you produce, you use, and you dispose of. Okay. Here we add a little more change and we make it a circular economy. That means we produce, we use, we maintain, we refurbish it, and then we recycle, and then again put back to use. So this is a main idea of doing, and at the same time creating a value for consumers, giving more flexibility.
So I think people will get the concept quite simply. It's an easy enough concept to understand. I guess what's not that easy to understand is why there aren't those opportunities out there already in the market, and it hasn't been packaged in this way. So why do you think, how have you got about positioning this? Do you see this as a furniture store and, electrical appliances as a store that you're going to have a leasing model, or do you see it more of a direct to consumer sort of application where it's like a subscription service? How do you kind of see this?
Correct. Yeah. So what he is saying is that's what we are also going forward with, because this will be app based. It'll be an app that on your mobile, just how you order product from. Currently, the model that are existing is purchasing, mostly in this region, that, you go on Amazon, you like a furniture, you click, buy, and it get delivered. Same thing, same model for us, very similar, as easy as ordering something on Amazon or Zomato, something like that, that you go online, choose the product, click, pay, and it get delivered. The only thing is that what we're adding is a subscription. So that means you don't need to commit anything upfront. You can change your mind whenever you want.
Is it like rent, or is it a monthly subscription, or is there an annual subscription?
Okay, it's a month. It's annual, but you pay monthly, just like Netflix. You take an annual, but you pay every month.
Yeah, but I get it. But people are used to paying monthly rent or annual rent. But there's in households, the way that people budget, they budget for fixed costs and the discretionary costs, and then surplus income might be on a nice new sofa or something like that. Do you think for people to adopt to this, irrespective of people getting to know the brand and the utility around the app, do you think there needs to be behavior change with how people budget and purchase furniture and appliances? And in your experience from other markets, do you think that that's something that is ready for this market?
Correct. I'll just give you more insight. That before we got into this, we did a basic market research. This country, 90% of the population is expatriate. Out of those 90% population, 85% people are living on rental. And this is and people are moving in and out, either from cities, from Sharjah, Dubai to Abu Dhabi, or in and out. Very transitory population, very frequent movement. They cannot. When you rent your apartment, this option was never given that you can even rent your furniture and appliances. You don't have to buy it. So when you move to a new apartment, you can just pick up your bag and go, and your subscription rental will move with you. Just like at the Salat, if you move your house, your subscription also goes there. So now people are very much familiar with the subscription model, starting from your movies to you buying your gym subscription, to your food subscription, to newspapers. People are very comfortable. It's just this option was never been offered here. This thing has been available in different market. And I'll give you two examples of two different markets that you can see is present here. If I'll talk about West, this was actually concept was initiated by Warren Buffett 50 years back with a company called Cort. And that has been doing phenomenally good. And then a lot of new startups have come up in all these regions, because
he actually invested in a lot of different type of furniture stores as well, didn't he?
Correct.
He owns furniture companies, and it came from that, did it?
Correct. Okay. Correct. So this is something that he came with this product, and it has been doing well from there. And that is a developed market I'm talking about. So there people are comfortable because people are moving. It's a big country, US, people move around and they want flexibility. They want convenience. Means today you bought this brown sofa. If you buy it, you have to live with it. But if you have subscribed it or if you rented it After 3 months, you say, I want a black sofa.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Because it's on subscription. You can change it as a click of a button. But if you buy it, you have to live with it. So that is a difference between owning and leasing. You can change as per your requirements. You can change as per your budget. So these are the flexibility that you have got when you're leasing it. But if you buy it, you don't have your financial, outgoing and incoming fluctuate time to time, for various reasons.
And what about an undeveloped market? Is that the second example?
So correct. So India is another one. I come from India. So India is something where it is a very price sensitive market. And if something where, and we, and the mindset is people believe in owning it rather than renting. That is how the culture is. But now you see all the new generation that is coming, it's entirely different. This new generation, millennials, think differently.
Okay.
Like my father used to live in one city and work for one company for his whole life.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
But it's not the case.
We don't do that now.
No, correct.
No. Okay, so you've convinced me, right, that our behavior is changing all around, so it's natural that it would change in this way.
Correct.
But can you, just taking a step back, how did you get into this? Where's your skill set? Is it in management? Is it in marketing? Is it in app development? Or is it in the furniture space? Or other than seeing the opportunity? And I love that you've come up with an idea that came from an expo insight, because we haven't had someone on from that, or a startup that's come out of the expo and that's going to live beyond the expo. So it's a really nice idea. But how did you kind of get into this space?
So, this is not was my, domain, where I was, I come from a aviation background and worked, started working in real estate. So I have been moving around, but I have always had this entrepreneurial, bug in me. And that's the reason I left my, job and got into, various businesses and got into real estate, started developing. And then there was another product came. So we involved in another startup called Filmy. That is another product. And then this, because of Expo, this whole Dubai was in a different when we won Expo. And then, from an entrepreneurial skill, we started thinking how we can also leverage this Expo. And that's what I was saying, that, we were thinking about it, and then this came, and then COVID happened. Everything was standstill, and then sitting down and then discussing with the team what to do. And then we came up, then during this phase, we developed this app or website. It's a very e-commerce site where you can come and choose your product, very similar to any of these e-commerce sites are there. You choose your product, you choose your rental tenure, how long you want, from 6 months to as long as you want. Your tenure changes. You have flexibility to swap your product whenever you want, free maintenance, free relocation. So if you move from one apartment to another, we locate that for you. Okay. So those are the flexibility. We do annual maintenance, refurbishment. So every annual we'll come in and make sure that, whatever scratches and normal wear tear are there, we again put it back again, fix it, and then you're
amazing.
Take
amazing.
It.
So exactly. So the customer, not only are they paying the rent, the lease, but they also don't have depreciation costs.
Correct.
Which you have.
That is a very interesting thing. So going forward, so we're starting with this. So we started with B2B now, and business to businesses make a lot of.
Would that be more commercial units, or is it more developers or real estate people who are leasing?
Real estate who are leasing. So their holiday homes are there, so they don't have to spend a lot of. Now the capex is out. Now if you have an apartment, for example, if you have an apartment and you want to put on Airbnb, you have to get it furnished. And you have to pay the money for it. So there, if a company like Easy Lease comes into picture, we come and furnish that for you. You can, and you have to pay me monthly subscription.
So you would actually look at the empty unit, and you would, rather than me picking things on the website, you'd fit it out, and I'd pay the subscription. That's really useful.
Correct. And then you get money by leasing that apartment on a short-term rental on Airbnb or multiple, and then you make money from there and you pay me a subscription. So there your capital is not getting blocked. And this is how we are, creating opportunity for new people to come into this this domain and exploiting it.
Interesting. Yeah, sounds very good. So, what stage is Easy Lease at the moment? We're in March 2022. When did you launch it, and what stage is the?
So we launched on 1st of February.
Oh, very new, yeah.
Yes, we already have through our. So initial plan was that we'll go directly to the consumer, but during the way we realized that. We got a good response from our B2B partners who are already managing a lot of inventory here. And then it made a lot of sense that before we launch to an actual consumer, let's smooth our operation, streamline our processes before we actually go to the actual consumer.
Yeah,
because that is a litmus test for us, that because there's a lot of expectation and a lot of responsibility to actually go and do the business. So that's the reason we realized that let's take a step back, let's deal with corporates first, build our operation skills, and then go to the consumer.
It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, people often throw around the acronyms B2B and B2C, but when in a service element, the practicalities of those differences are really substantial, because if you're dealing with B2B, it's clients, it's business, it's corporate, you can do client service. But if you're dealing with customer, the level of service, it's someone's credit card, it's someone's debit card. It's like being in a restaurant. You need such a higher level of service, don't you? So it's a smart approach of how you
exactly. So this is something, because this is a lot of responsibility for me. We have to build this a brand, and to build a brand, you need a lot of loyal customer, and we have to be really customer centric. So we wanted to make sure that we hone all our skills. Our team on ground is 200% ready for any challenges, because there'll be a lot of ad hoc situation might come, because when you're dealing with so many people, there'll be a lot of requests and a lot of different type of requirements. So that's the reason we thought that let's take baby steps. Let's deal with more structured way with B2B, and then go on and address that. So second phase is that we'll start addressing directly to the consumer.
And does the pricing change, Faisal? Do you have different pricing for B2B, B2C, and what is your pricing structure? For example, is it cheaper? If I am, not that people budget this way, but if I was buying a kitchen appliance or a kitchen table or a sofa, and I say, okay, after 3-4 years or 5 years, I'm going to replace that, and then I work backwards per month what it would cost me, would it be more affordable to lease it, or how does that work? How would people know if it's affordable to lease or not?
Because see, now people are, we should not assume that consumer are very aware of what is business or what are the product they're buying. So awareness level of consumer is very high. So our model is that it is renting vis-a-vis buying is more value for money now, because even when you are taking on a installment, that also, because if you take this, the biggest difference is that if you buy it, you have to live with it. Here, you have got a lot other perks that comes with it. The services. So in normal condition, it is not. Now the trend is in the thought process of consumer is changing. It is not ownership, it is usership. So it is more about that how you use. You don't have to own the product to access the product anymore. Now it's not anymore that you need to buy those DVDs to watch those movies. Not anymore. You just subscribe it, you watch it, and that's it. You don't need to own that. So just to have this sofa in your home, you don't need to buy it.
So you think our value around how much a sofa is changing?
It's changing. Now sorry.
And how much would it be? For example, like an average price of a sofa, what are we talking a monthly fee?
So, our start with a bed start with 40 dirhams. Our fridge, a 300 liter fridge starts with 75 dirhams. It's less than a pizza.
Okay, so it's amazing. So people don't need to say, I need 20, 30,000 dirhams to fit out my kitchen appliances and living room and TVs and all. You can do TVs as well?
Correct. So I'll just give you, so we have got a package of 499, 500 dirhams, a package for a studio.
Wow.
That means you can just rent a studio and you take a subscription of 500 dirhams, you can get from a queen bed to queen mattress to 2-seater couch, a coffee table, a bean bag,
so interesting.
you know, a 7 kg washing machine, your 300-liter fridge, and your 4 hobs cooker.
Wow, this sounds like a great idea.
You're sorted. You don't need anything.
Yeah.
And whenever you move, you know, you have flexibility. You can just click at the button, you unsubscribe it.
Yeah, you don't have
You
to
don't have to
Bizzle and try
don't have to sell it. Yeah,
bargain.
and you don't get anything.
Yeah.
You know, and now you know. So
bargain for zero.
Yeah. So this
dirhams.
is something flexibility that
Very good.
this option was never been there. When I came, if I had this option, I would have really, in my initial phase, I would have leased it out till the time I made up my mind what I want. But this option was now when
That's
we
another
come,
way of
this
looking
will
at it.
really revolutionize the way how people are living now. They can.
Okay, so another question then, right? Often people come on podcasts and we talk about marketplaces versus having your own product. Do you see this as a marketplace, or are you supplying the inventory as well? Are you investing in the furniture, or do you have partners that are furniture stores and appliances stores? Or is it a marketplace where the furniture stores and the inventory people can upload their inventory and you create the demand of the people leasing?
This is what we intend to do. We want to create this a hybrid model where even the furniture company can come and lease it out, because this is what is a trend now. Now you see subscription or a recurring income. Companies are making 5 times more money than your Fortune 500 companies. This is way forward. Now companies, those who are then year 2000 on Fortune 500 companies, half of the companies don't exist anymore now because they have either got merged or closed down or whatever. Now if you see companies who are growing are companies who have who have diversified their business model into recurring or subscription. Now you see GE, for example, that is something I was reading about, how GE has transformed, how Adobe has transformed. Yeah. These companies have transformed. Now they don't sell anything or make money from selling, but they make more money from annual maintenance and subscription. Now Adobe is no more selling your software. They'll give you a subscription. You pay every month. Yeah,
it's no compact disc anymore. It's more of a license online.
Online.
They were a big turnaround.
Correct. Yeah. So this is for going forward. Media was the first who started this. IT was the first who started with all these. Microsoft, all these things are cloud-based. Everything now there's a monthly rental or annual rental you pay. This is way forward. Now you see, as per statistic, 52% of the companies get 40% of their revenue from recurring subscription.
True, that's true. But some of them own the product. Whether the product is a cloud-based server, they own the servers. And Netflix also famously started making their own shows because the other guys were catching up and they didn't want to pay for the movies anymore. So, but from your point of view, do you own the furniture, or right now do you own the furniture?
Certain, yes. Certain we own, yeah.
You own certain furniture right now?
Certain, yeah. And then hybrid, then we have partnered with certain manufacturer and retailers.
Okay.
Because appliances, we get it from there and we purchase it and then put it on.
And then do you need a factory, and do you need trucks, and do you need people to bring the furniture in and out all the time? Do you need all these things?
Correct. We do, but at the moment we have tied up with multiple vendors who are supporting us to doing that. That is the reason, because of B2B, this is more organized. We don't need so much logistic because we are dealing, for example, if we are dealing with
bigger orders.
Bigger orders. One building, one place. So we know that it's going to one apartment that has with 100 flats.
So it suits right now.
So right there. If we are dealing with 100 people, so that means going to 100 direction of logistic, 100 times, 100 different. That's the reason all these challenges we realized, because it's a startup, and we have to gradually accelerate that. Yeah. So we need to build our base strong, get our team more, trained to handle all those things.
Yeah.
So that's the reason was something that I decided, let's hold on to B2C and get on B2 business to business first.
And even the business to business is a smart play, not just on the second business side, but on the first business side, because there's talk of them going direct to consumer. But even if they start selling the mattresses to the home, their model is a per sale item. Their model isn't your model, so you can help with different ways on inventory, and you can see how they would be willing to partner with you. And have you found that? It's a new name, it's a new company. Have you found that partners are willing to work with you?
Yeah, we are dealing with one of the top asset management company here. We shortly will be coming up and publicly putting it on there. We have already done around 200 apartments already furnished with our multiple partners. So this is a proof of concept that is being developed, and then definitely we're going to take it to the public domain and start raising funds to expedite and to grow the startup. Yes.
Okay, so just on that, so people do receive this. You see good product market fit. You see a demand for this. It's not like, hey, I'm a restaurant and I don't want you to be the delivery guys because you're taking my customer away and you're taking the margins. In your industry, in this industry, it's a bit different. You're actually making life easier for them, and so the vendors are willing to partner.
Right here, because we are giving more business. We are creating a more business.
Yeah.
Because there was secondary market where it was not being addressed very well. Here we are able to support even the retailers and the other manufacturers to create a new sales stream, which was missing. So here, mostly what was there and this was the issue. Now you see even a Samsung, for example, has started getting into subscription. You see in Grover, is a company in Germany.
Yeah, I'm familiar with them. Yeah, they do kind of kitchen appliances and
everything,
and bathrooms and sinks and stuff.
Yeah. So that is something that is doing and they have raised $1 billion just to
direct
grow
consumer subscription.
Subscription. Wow. So this domain is on fire. Means during COVID especially, this domain has really growth in 10x. Because people realize the importance of home. Otherwise, people used to come, sleep, and go out and work, and come back and sleep. That was the only thing. But during COVID, people realized the importance of home. Then they realize, they're missing so many things. When you're sitting at home, then they realize, I need a coffee table, I need this, I need that. But before that, the home was only meant to come and sleep and crash. During COVID, the business has really grown into tenfold. There have been, phenomenal growth in India, phenomenal growth in the US in this rental. People realize that, they need home offices as well. So suddenly, because they don't know how long, your situation also, your job security is also at stake. So people were not willing to commit buying it. Yeah. So if this option was there, that's the reason this subscription model really picked up during COVID. And people realize. So a lot of things actually expedite because of COVID. What could have happened after 5 years, it happened now.
Yeah.
Everything was fast forward. We went ahead.
Very good.
In time.
Yeah. So when you launched in the 1st of Feb, what you launched with was you had a client, which is great, and you had a customer, but you also have a website, you have a good business model, you have good pricing. So you didn't need too much funding at the beginning because you didn't say build a factory or etc. But to get these things, there must have been some initial funding in place.
Correct.
And is that what you did yourselves? It's self-funded, and then you're going to raise funds.
Correct. It's self-funded and with friends and family.
Yeah.
We raised because we wanted to create an asset-light model.
Yeah.
And from day one, we were very focused on creating a positive, EBITDA positive company. And unit economics was very important that, we need to be unit economics positive. Otherwise, mostly what happened that, startups, they are into more fun that, you get money and you burn it to get customer acquisition. So that was, that is one part of it, but, we were really focused on not to burn money burning money is one thing, but always be, unit economics positive. That is it. So that's the reason we made sure that how we can partner with certain people who our vision aligns and can add value to each other. And that's the reason we didn't have to build our own warehouse. We don't have to have our own trucks. We were using our partners. So their facility we are using because it's not been 100% used yet.
It's refreshing to hear as well because in the startup world we don't often hear of companies that are profitable early on. So it's good to hear that you focus on that and hopefully it will continue that way. So just to talk about the Dubai industry and the market around what industry you're entering into, how do you see it? How do you see, not the customer aspect to it, but more the sort of industry around appliances, electronics, furnitures, stores, the incumbents? Like, how is it right now? Are they doing well? Is it a competitive market?
Dubai or UAE, I should say, is one of the most competitive market. In GCC, they are second biggest industry, means after Saudi. It is like $1 billion plus industry. And
what is the
furniture?
Yeah,
furniture company. If I'm just talking about furniture company, it is one of the most robust industry in GCC. And when I'm talking about various business retailers and other businesses from there, I feel that because we were talking to almost most of the retailers and manufacturers and distributor, and have got really good response from almost everybody. There was not a single person who we approached was not positive. They really because this was something unique model. We are creating something add-on to it. For example, if you go and so they have a lot of inventory as such. If you go to any manufacturer, like for example Samsung, they have got 100 retail outlet here, and you see all the Samsung in all the stores. So you see TVs, mobiles, and all those things just on display. We can actually help those clients to put those things on a rental or a lease model. Once it is from display, it's not being used, it's only on display. We can again put back to recycle. So it does not has to be discarded, or it has to be sold at a crazy discount price, where we can give value to the owners and the retailers. This is something because those are still new. It is just was on display, and we can add value to that by putting on a circular economy and extending it's all about extending the life of each product. Otherwise, normally it has become you use and throw, and there's nothing done about it. But if some company is there in between who can extend the life of each product and can be circulated, because there is a windfall, means people like today you need iPhone 13 Pro. But there are people who don't need iPhone 13 Pro now. They only need iPhone 10 maybe. So this thing can be fall on and reach to that cycle, and the life cycle of the product can be extended by doing that thing, by putting in a circular economy.
I didn't think of it that way, that the subscription model in terms of actual tangible objects can help the circular economy, but I can see the rationale around it. Makes sense. It's very interesting because there's onus on you to look after that and refurb that product, because you can actually, you're incentivized to do it because you can actually resell and reuse that as well.
Correct. So we extend that, if you maintain it properly, because if it is so we have got tied up with, all the right partners who can maintain those products. Take example of phone. So we can actually extend the life cycle just by maintaining it. Otherwise, what happens? I think something happens, then you put it across and you get a new one. But we maintain that, so you never have to think about getting a new appliances. If something it's just like renting a car. If something breaks down, you call me up. Our call center will come. We'll take that up. We'll fix it. Otherwise, we'll give you another one. We'll replace it, and we'll fix it, and then we'll make it again start working by taking whatever is required, and we again put back to circulation. So it is not being discarded. And that is, we are saving a lot of so I'll just give you how much land, these furniture, it's almost like more than 9 million tons of furniture land in landfill, and that is not a sustainable way of doing things. So this is how we are contributing our own way of achieving to keep these things away from landfill as long as possible by giving an extended life to the product. And
Okay, interesting. So if you did raise funds, what would be the things that you would do with it? Would it be to create your own furniture? Would it be to build a system around refurbing that furniture? Or would it be more on technical and application and building the marketplace, or more on the sort of logistics side of things?
So a bit of all, actually. So yes, technology is one that, we will be working on technology, hiring the right resources to build on that technology. Service centers is the key thing. This business model revolves around extending the life cycle of each product and giving extended life so that, it can be used for us. So we need a very robust refurbishment and technical service center. That is something that we'll be building on.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, just going back to something, Faisal, you mentioned at the start about a stat that jumped out to me was, 85% of the 90%, say, immigrants in the UAE are not homeowners. Is that changing? Irrespective of how this sort of affects your business model, but in the last few years, and you told me off air that you've been here nearly 2 decades, right? So have you seen that? Is it still as transient a city as it was a decade ago, or is it a little bit of a shift?
It is. There's a shift is happening. I must agree. Yes, that people are now looking Dubai as a long-term commitment, unlike before. Otherwise, people used to come with a short-time horizon, and then they think either they'll stay here or move ahead. But that is changing because of a lot of changes in their government policies that has come across, a lot of liberal visa policies that has come, ownership that has come. So yes, definitely there is change. But on the other hand, I don't feel that this is going to affect us, because this is a whole mindset change also. People are not anymore focused on the product. Product is only the end of the means. People are more focused on services that you get.
Totally.
That is something. Flexibility, services, that is something. This is what, this is a very good, discussion we had with one of our manufacturers. Now what they say, that earlier, if there used to be a product, like there was a sofa. So if you make the sale, that was end of the relationship with the customer. You buy and that's closed. Relationship's closed. But in subscription, that is the start of the relationship. After you sell, then your relationship start in subscription model. That means your consumer more inside. It is more customer focused business model. So now most of the companies are having such a thing. They're adding more of a recurring or subscription model to their business model. Another vertical. Apart from selling, they are extending this so that they have got more in-depth relationships. So you're part of the ecosystem, like what Apple did. They want to keep you in the ecosystem, iTunes. So now you are around that. If you're so much into it, so you just move around in that ecosystem. So just to keep you with them, they want to know more about you and make you and give you whatever you need. And this is, most of the business are working towards it. In future, that is there.
Yeah, and I can tell that you're quite passionate about that subscription model and the benefits of it, which is great. Which is good to see. I think if you believe in that, then you don't necessarily need to have that market inside of a transient, because what happens if people stay here longer, actually the economy improves, doesn't it? Because there's more population, there's more affluency, there's more, the other type of circular economy, which is money going around, and there's a lot more going around as well. So it benefits different types of players in an ecosystem, such as a leasing, appliances and furniture company. So who do you think your competitors are? Are there global products and services? Is there a global app like this already? Is that a competitor? Do you think a competitor could be someone like, I don't know, Airbnb? Or we had an interview with the CEO of Nomad Homes recently. Or do you think your competitor could be one of the furniture stores in the UAE who offers this product as well?
Quite possible in future. At the moment, there's no competitor as such. There's no organized player as yes. So so that is the advantage of a first mover advantage that we have. that there's nobody locally, there's nobody. Internationally, yes, as I mentioned, there's a lot of players that has come up in US and India, but locally there's nobody. So that is an advantage for us to go to the market and capture and do the best of the tie-up with the best of the people in the market.
And in terms of market, do you see that as Dubai? Do you see that as UAE or the wider region?
Wider region for sure, but Dubai is the first place to start. You always, anybody like, if you want to start a movie career, you look at Hollywood. Same way, if you want to start something in this region, Dubai is the place that you want to start with. Something always like in the front head, always supportive of whatever you do. The policies are such that you just get everything happening, and people are very out focused, means always looking for appreciating new initiative and something unique. So response wise, I'm really impressed. That's the reason that there was so much changes happened. We were thinking about something else, and then the response that we got from our vendor partners, from our sales partners, was overwhelming. Then we said, let's hold on, let's again revisit the whole model and then take it forward. So amazing. And you mentioned about Airbnb, Nomad. I feel these are our potential partners, where we can add value. So for example, if you mentioned about any real estate who are leasing, so now it is, as per studies, it is more easier to lease a furnished apartment than an unfurnished apartment. So now if they're already leasing the apartment for someone. So if they offer you that, now you don't have to make a choice between furnished and unfurnished. Otherwise, earlier it used to be that, you wanted a furnished, but you're not getting the furnished apartment in your preferred building. Not anymore. Now you can furnish any apartment in any building, because now there's a company called Easy Lease who can furnish any apartment. So you don't have to make a choice. Oh, I wish I could have got my furnished apartment, but I'm getting another one. Not anymore. You can get any apartment furnished as per your specification.
Yeah, exactly. It's really interesting. It's definitely, one that I think can really take off if people hear about it. It's a good idea. But just on the sort of Dubai and the region aspect, you've been here a substantial period of your life. We always ask, do you see the Middle East as an emerging market, one that will emerge? And do you view it as a region, or do you think, say, UAE, Dubai is going at a different pace as an economy versus the rest of the region? With Easy Lease, do you think that this is something that can work in Arabic and can work in the Gulf, in the Levant, and North Africa?
Correct. Absolutely. Means, yes, definitely. I believe that Dubai and UAE as such is a pack leader. They're the alpha male of this region. And then, yes, but I look at, from our business perspective, definitely I look at this whole region as GCC and MENA, because this is where I feel that all the business from all over this region worked out of from here. UAE is there like a capital for the whole region. And then, so definitely for us first is Dubai, UAE, and then we're going to expand to the other region, because it works on a very similar mindset and operational capabilities.
Very good. Okay, so to finally, so if people want to find you now, they find you on social media, and then the ezelease.com.ae. You go on there, and at the moment it's B2B. So if I had an apartment that I wanted to let out, would that be considered B2B, or is there?
As of now, yeah, it is B2C. But shortly, I think couple of months we'll be there. But our site is still live. You can come and browse the site. You can see what are the prices are there, how it works. So you can get a feel and you can get an actual feeling. Just that, we have not, but shortly you can come in and start interacting and start putting up your requests, and we'll be more than happy to serve.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's been fascinating. I love hearing the business ideas, and wish Easy Lease all the best.
Thank you so much, Richard. And hopefully we'll see you, and if you have an apartment, we'll be more than happy to furnish that.
I think I might. All right. Thanks, Faisal. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, I really enjoyed that conversation. Early stage, they're only a month in, but you can see lots of thinking that goes into coming up with a product, coming up with an opportunity and fitting something in to where you think it might work in Dubai and in the market. I'd like to thank, as usual, Shahir and Ali, our producers. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, please do subscribe, leave a comment, let us know any feedback, let us know if you want guests on in the future, and recommend to a friend, recommend to someone in your industry who you think might be interested in this podcast or any other. There's been a few more around real estate and furniture as well. Allsop and Allsop spring to mind, Alec Construction, and different ones like that. So please do skim through the other 150 or so episodes. Any recommendation to someone goes a long way in building the audience and getting the word out there. If you like this and you'd like other similar content, please do subscribe to smashy.tv on iOS, Android, or smart TVs. Thank you, and see you next week.